5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's time to count down reality TV's most talked about moments with Amanda Bella. Hey everybody, welcome back to Bella Talks TV. This is Amanda Bella, and I'm so happy to be back for another week of breaking down reality TV's most talked about moments with you. If you're here with me on YouTube, what a treat for you, because Candy has decided to join us today. She actually would not let me podcast without letting her lay on the desk up here with me, so lucky you if you're watching the YouTube. Definitely want you guys all to be heading over there and just go subscribe, like, maybe leave a cute little comment. Do me a solid, because I am about to approach my 1 year of when I started this podcast in September, and I've gained a lot of traction and I've had a lot of good interactions with people, some good opportunities, and it's only going to continue to grow. So I appreciate all of you, whether you've been here since day one listening, or if this is your first day here, giving me a try. Thank you for being here. So I'm not sure how you found me, but if it was on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, Instagram, wherever, please make sure you're following me, subscribed to all of my content, and you're here supporting little Candy and it. We, just are here to talk about housewives and whatever has been going on in reality TV this week. So, hey, Candy, sit, baby. Sit, lay down. Oh my gosh. If you're here watching me again, if you've been here watching my videos, or if you've even been seeing my clips, usually I'm just sitting on the couch, relaxing. And I'm like, why not? Like, if I'm going to be just doing an independent podcast, like, why would I not just lay in bed or lay on my couch? Hello, that's like the best of both worlds. And I decided actually to move into our second bedroom here, and we've made it into like a pretty nice work from home office for my husband and I both to work in here. He's got a section over here. I've got my little podcasting corner, and I love this room. The only reason I don't typically podcast in here is because I think it's haunted, personally. I mean, this building that we live in isn't that old. It's not like it's some like NYC pre-war building, but it's like a newer build. But I think the people that lived here before us, or I think what was on the grounds before us, was maybe not known for like a very great part of town here. And it's just not great, because I think that there is something in here. Like, every time I come into this room, Candy like refuses to be in here. She barks, she cries, she won't let us stay in here. She won't, usually in any other room, like she'll go off to her own thing, like lay on the floor, go lay on the corner of the bed. Like, she doesn't always need to be like right on top of me. But for whatever reason in this room, like, she gets really cranky. So she had to be here right on top of us. So she's here joining me as my little co-host this week. And she's having a little brat summer. If you guys haven't been following, here she is. Candy, say hello. She's got her little green butterfly hair clips in. And yeah, I usually podcast on the couch. So this is a different vibe in this room because it's a little bit more of an office. I have some stuff behind us. So as long as Candy will allow me to podcast, we'll record in here going forward. And yeah, you guys, I have a lot of course, things to go over with you per usual. I wanted to first talk about if you guys have Amazon Prime, which if you're in 2024, the year of our Lord, and you do not have Amazon Prime, I tip my hat to you, because I'm not even a huge primer. I'm not like, I get things. I prefer to go like on a Target run and just get things in person. But some people like to Amazon every little thing, from toothpaste to toilet paper or whatever. And I don't really do that, but we do use Prime for other items. And one thing that I don't usually use it for either is to watch reality TV shows on it, because their reality TV game isn't great. They had that show, The GOAT, which I watched every episode of course. I ate it up, but nobody was talking about it. No one really seemed to watch it. If I can remember, let me see if I can remember off the top of my head who even won. Oh yeah, okay, it was Paula from 90 Day Fiance. So, okay, it made somewhat of an impact on me, where I guess it makes sense. I don't remember what I was going to watch on Amazon Prime one day, and I open up the app and I see that it's like suggested for me, or somehow it opens up right on my home screen, because I don't know, I would have never looked for this or searched or had known it existed. But it says Bravo Housewives Vault, like streaming now. I'm like, what is this? So I open it up, and it is just a 24/7 channel that is streaming on Amazon Prime that is old Housewives episodes. I'm talking old Jersey, old Atlanta, old Beverly Hills. Like I am loving it. I find myself now, like typically I'm opening up Peacock, opening up watching my typical shows. I find myself going to this channel now and just turning it on, having it on anytime in the background. I'm very obsessed with this and I cannot believe that more people don't know about this. So go to your Amazon Prime, look it up, Bravo Housewives Vault. And they also have another channel that is just a Bravo Vault, not Housewives, which is old Flipping Out, old Tabitha, old etc. Shows like that. Really old shows, like the true vault. So I'm loving that they're streaming this. I don't know what this means for Bravo, if they're just getting paid to do like residuals or why they're doing this on a different app than Peacock, because on Peacock, I think it would really thrive and people would be all talking about it. And it's good to talk about the old episodes because it keeps like the lore alive and it keeps everybody interested, the OGs, everybody's backstories, and keeping just the true spirit of Housewives alive. So please go watch Bravo, continue watching the old episodes, continue recapping the old episodes. I know a lot of people on different podcasts like to do that for their Patreons and stuff. And one thing I would love to do for you guys, like I know I'm always giving you like so many promises, but look, I'm trying to piece by piece amp up this podcast for everybody. But one thing I really would love to give everybody would be some bonus episodes of going through some of my old favorite episodes or going through some themes of shows on Bravo and etc. that I would like to, keep alive. So I hope that you guys will continue to join me on this page. And again, continue to subscribe and follow. So yeah, that's just one thing I wanted to make sure I got in the intro and make sure you guys are aware of this Prime Vault channel. And then a few other things I'm not going to talk about this episode, but things that I'm watching. Welcome to Plathville. This season is again camp love, but no one's talking about it, and there were so many other things on my list to get to this week. So please continue to watch Plathville on TLC. One thing that's going on over there, I think I touched on last time, is that Micah, one of the middle brothers of the Plath family, has a girlfriend this season that he's living with that doesn't want to film. So every time she's filming, it's like the side of her face, or she's covering her face like this, or it'll be like a back shot, or her just like walking out a door. So we don't really know what his girlfriend looks like. I'm sure she's beautiful, and it's not like a situation like that. But she wants her privacy for whatever reason. I think the reason is that she might come from money or come from some kind of family that doesn't want her necessarily affiliated. We will see. So that's going on in Plathville. I'm also not going to talk about Dubai this week because, people are talking about it. There's like a buzz, but again, I don't think enough people are talking about it. I've gone on and on and on about how much I love Talene. Chanel Ayan reposted one of my stories this week. Chanel and I are now best friends. So I love Dubai. I'm still watching Caroline Stanberry and Sergio. So yeah, real quick, they just go to Dubai, or they go to Bali this week. And they do this gag because last year on the girls' trip, Sergio pulled up on a jet ski because he couldn't be away from Caroline for more than 2 days. So this time he shows up to the airport and he's got his passport and all his bags. And the girls are like, holy shit, he's really coming because look, he's got all his bags. He's got his passport. He's here at 4 a.m. or whatever. I'm sure he's really going. And they're all mad. And then it turns out he's actually going to Spain and he leaves on a different flight. And then they leave for the girls' trip. So they're in Bali. So we're going to see what pops off there. And then another show that, again, I just think is so important to the history of Bravo is Million Dollar Listing LA. I am obsessed with the current cast of Josh Altman, Josh Flagg, and Tracy Tudor. I'm not the biggest Tracy Tudor fan, but she's grown on me. And I like, she's a beautiful lady. I love everything she wears. I love her fashion, her style, if you will. And I'm glad that she's a part of this cast. We need a woman representing, of course. I just, again, always will miss Madison. It's what would be the dollar? And maybe he just doesn't live there anymore, and that's the problem. Maybe he's in Miami or something I could see. But wherever Madison is, I just wish he would come back to us. Sirhan was on Watch What Happens Live, and he said he's going to be opening up offices on the West Coast also. So we'll see if he's just $1 million listing LA, $1 million listing New York, continues to do owning Manhattan, owning Beverly Hills, or wherever he's going to be focusing on. I like continuing to watch all these real estate shows. So continuing to watch, so there was a funny clip that I posted, or if I haven't done it yet, I'm going to do it later. It's on my Instagram at BellaTalksTV. So that is going to have a clip of $1 Million Listing when Josh Flagg, Tracy, and Josh Altman all meet up to do like a happy hour together. Just how excited they are for the three of them to be together. They have a good dynamic. Josh Flagg is just my like resting bitch face queen. I love him so much. Bravo's never allowed to take him off. He was also on Watch What Happens Live. He said he's been on Bravo for 17 years. Josh Flagg, BFFs with Sonia. Love him. Love him so much. So yeah, just a couple things to touch on there. Now getting into my LOL and my OMG of the week. We have a couple things here too. So almost forgot about the Surreal Life premiering. There's 2 episodes out as of now. And I almost forgot about it. I couldn't believe because I was excited because of course my queen mother, Kim Zolciak, is returning to our screens. You would think I would have an alarm set because I've been begging and pleading to get her back on Real Housewives of Atlanta also. So I don't know if that's really going to happen. Andy, like hear me out here. I would love to see her back on Atlanta, especially after everything that happened with Kenya being kicked off. We need Kim back. That's one thing that I've been seeing a lot of on the Prime Vault channel is Real Housewives of Atlanta old episodes where it's Kim and Nene and Sheree back in the day. We need to get them all back together. Even, I mean, you guys know I have a little bit of a personal vendetta against Nene because she was one of these reality reckoning ladies that came against Andy. Like, I don't stand for anybody going against Daddy Andy. Maybe not Nene, but Kim for sure. Keep Sheree. Get them all together back in Atlanta. So my LOL of the week again is the Surreal Life. So there's 2 episodes out. Funny as shit. Like I wasn't expecting to lol as much. I don't know what I thought the show was about, but it's weird. It's like a mix of them being funny, but also talking about their trauma. And I don't know if that's the point of Surreal Life. Like I know I used to watch back in the day, but I can't really remember. It didn't make enough of an impact, I guess, for me to remember what the show was really about. So for me to be watching this now, I'm like, okay, they have to do these like challenges. They have to do these like group exercises. And the first one that they have to do in the house together is breathwork. And they have this guy come in, a shaman of some sorts, and he's doing the breathwork. And it's Chet Hanks, it's Tyler Posey, it's Macy Gray, and a couple other random celebrities, if you will. Maybe you'll call them reality TV stars, other random stars, Hollywood figures that all are in this house together and they have to do this breathwork exercise. And Macy is just not feeling it. Like Macy reveals to Tyler that she is a rocker girl. Like she actually would prefer to probably just be hanging out with Courtney Love and her friendship with her. And I love Courtney Love. So I was really interested to see more about Macy. But they're getting into this exercise and Chet Hanks and Tyler Posey are, in the words of Macy Gray, are like having a competition. They're having basically like a roar off because they're breathing so heavily and they're getting so into it. And it is a really funny scene because Macy's reactions and her talking heads are just so good in this show. Like she is so real, unfiltered. She is a star. I want 5,000 episodes of her. She needs her own spinoff. I wasn't expecting for Macy Gray to really like steal my heart so much. It's funny because my mom, she loves Macy Gray. I remember her specifically always wanting to go see her in concert, buying her albums. Like she's I wasn't expecting for her to elicit this like feeling of like party girl. Like she's very 365 party girl energy and I'm kind of living for it. So that's a really funny scene. And then also my other LOL from the same show on Surreal Life is when Kim Zolciak is picking up Johnny Weir, the figure skater, and they're getting in their limo together to ride to the Surreal Life house. And Kim is like, oh yeah, that's all my wine back there. And who knows if it's 1, 2, 3 suitcases, how many suitcases are filled with wine in the back of the car. But that is just such a Kim move. Our mother is back. I know I'm so funny because I still use mother so much, but you guys, whatever, like there's no other word to describe her. She's an icon. She's a queen. She has always been the moment and we need her. I love her. I'm so happy she's back. So yeah, my LOL again of the week, The Surreal Life. You guys have to go check that out. I'm not sure how everyone's watching it. I think I watched it through my cable app, but which is Spectrum. So I'm not sure how other people are streaming that show. It's on MTV, and it's funny. I didn't realize this until now, but I have 2 MTV shows for my LOL and my OMG of the week. My LOL being The Surreal Life. Go again, check that out. My OMG of the week being Teen Mom. So Teen Mom. Wow. Okay, so I'm trying to think if I was in maybe 10th grade when I first started watching Teen Mom. It's been on forever. And it is basically a part of my DNA now. These girls feel like family members of mine. They actually mimic some actual family members of mine. I'm like, they've got cousin vibes for me. And I love each and every one of these ladies. So let's just run through them quick. If you're not watching Teen Mom, or if you've never watched Teen Mom, that's okay. You can skip forward next. My top 5 countdown is the next segment, so you can skip forward. But if you are watching Teen Mom or you have any interest in these ladies, here is my OMG of the week. So we have Janelle, and Janelle is back. And just her in general, like, okay, she is bananas and of course the best TV ever. We know a lot about her because of her and her mom, Barb. If you guys remember Kiefer, her ex-boyfriend, when Barb was like, hi, you're both high. And Kiefer was like in the car. Oh my gosh. So Janelle is a diehard stoner. She is a pothead, whatever you want to call somebody, she loves it. She can't get enough. And she's decided to lean in more than ever. Upon her recent divorce from her ex-husband, David, she's now has 3 kids. And she has a good relationship with Jace. They show her FaceTiming with him a lot. She's in Las Vegas and the kids are in South Carolina when she's like out in Las Vegas with her manager. You guys, this guy named August, who is her manager friend. I don't know if they're soft launching them being in a relationship together. August says he knows Janelle like no one else. Again, her ex was a very domestically abusive, psychotic man. We're glad that she's getting divorced. I would like her just to be single and like focus on her kids and focus on her own mental health for a little while. But again, it's not confirmed that she's dating this guy, August. I just am speculating. So she's in Vegas with this guy. He is getting her this deal. Actually, a very legit, reputable, real weed dispensary. So she's getting her own marijuana line made called That Time of the Day because if you guys remember back in her previous seasons, she told her mom, she was like, it's that time of the day. I like to smoke about this time of day and I haven't smoked yet. And she's telling Barb, and Barb's like, what, you're smoking marijuana? Like, it's a really funny scene from back again, Teen Mom back in the day. I think it was Teen Mom 2. But Janelle is back. She's getting her weed line made. She's possibly dating this guy, August. Who knows? But I'm just so happy she's back. We're going to run through again all the ladies. So Jaide and Sean got married in the first episode of the Teen Mom season. So Sean is her longtime baby daddy. He had been previously, I think, engaged once, maybe called it off, got re-engaged, actually got married this time. Now, Sean, I know, has been to rehab. I'm so glad that he seems to be clean, working, a true guy. I don't know if so Jaide does hair. So I know Jaide works, but does Sean have a job? And does he just consider being on the show his job? Is he Carling? I'm not sure. I know that he struggled to find a job last season. They haven't really been super clear this season. And now Jaide and Sean were having problems with Chloe in school and they pulled her out and they've been homeschooling her. Apparently, I don't even know. I really don't even know what I'm trying to say besides the fact that I just don't think it's a good idea for Jaide and Sean to be homeschooling. And I'm just going to leave it with that. I'm always thinking about Jade's mom, though. She's just always in my thoughts and like my prayers. Speaking of other teen moms, Brianna, her mom is in rehab too and has revealed to her that she's been struggling with addiction for many years. It's really hard seeing Brianna go through this because she doesn't have a ton of people to rely on herself. They show her going to a virtual Al-Anon meeting with her sister. And her sister, Brittany, she's tough. She's got very, very tough skin and she's not really giving any sympathy to her mom. Brianna, you can tell, has a lot more. She's like, my mom is really there for me. She seems to be really close with Roxanne, her mom. So I think that she's really, really affected by the fact that her mom's in rehab. So she said, again, her mom helps so much. She's like a huge missing factor of her everyday life. Brittany, I just don't think feels the same way. And then Brianna's also talking about how Lewis, who is Stella's, I believe it's Nova and Stella, and I can't remember which one's older of Brianna's daughters, but The one where Lewis is the father, he's MIA. He hasn't been around for about a year. So that makes me so mad. I really hate a deadbeat dad. I just do. It's like, you don't have to be super dad. You don't have to be her best friend. You don't have to be hashtag dad girl. But you do have to at least be checking in with, at least be text. These girls are old enough to text. Text with her, send pictures, keep in touch. Like, you don't live together. Pick them up for school though. Like, do things with them. Like, I'm just not sure. I feel so happy to be from a family where I'm very lucky my parents are still together. So I'm just not sure what it would be like and what it does look like when these families are separated and the dad kind of goes missing. But I'm very sad to see that Brianna is struggling so much this season. Speaking of people struggling on Teen Mom, Kate and Tyler, they look rough, right? Like, what's going on with them? They go on this boys trip where all the boys go to Michigan, like LOL, actually. They take them on this ski trip to Boyne, which is about an hour from where I grew up. So I thought it was kind of funny to see them take a cast trip to basically my backyard. But they go to Boyne, they all go skiing and snowboarding and stuff. And so on this guys trip, one of the most recent Teen Mom episodes. So on this guys trip, Gary discloses to all of the guys that Leah wants to get emancipated and or adopted by Christina, who is Gary's now current wife, and that basically Amber doesn't know yet. And that is not good because we know Amber has a very torrid history of being a terror and kind of popping off. And even Christina is like, oh, no. Like, everybody's like, we need to tell. Pretty much as this rumor of Leah wanting to get adopted by Christina makes it through the rounds of the families of Teen Mom, everybody's like, who is going to tell Amber? Like, someone has to tell Amber, like, immediately. And at this time, Amber is still dating this guy, Gary, who's Gary 2.0, who is the Asian Gary. And this is actually still in a part of filming where this guy ends up going missing, as you guys remember. Like, Gary as a missing person for like 3 days and then ends up finding that he just like fled Amber and like crossed state lines and like left her, and they were engaged. So we're not to the part of them even being engaged yet in the time of the show. There's definitely drama to come with that, and it's just really sad. Like, I would say my OMG of the week is actually the part that Gary decided to spread this rumor or disclose to everybody on the show that Leah doesn't want Amber to be her mom anymore. And that is a huge, huge revelation to this family. It sends a ripple through the entire Teen Mom family, and everybody's very upset by this. So that is my OMG of the week. If you're not watching Teen Mom, go catch up with these ladies. I know it can be very scary. There's a lot of past lore of the Teen Mom world, and I recommend, though, that if you're just looking for some good old-fashioned reality television, Teen Mom is where you're going to find that. So let's move over now into my top 5 countdown of the week. So reality TV's most talked about moments. Number 5, I have to go over to I've been loving this season. Some of the guys are just wacky and goofy, and then some of the guys are very serious contenders for Jen to find love. So that's what you want. You want this show to be entertaining, but also not so ridiculous that you're like, okay, who is she actually going to be with? Now, if you guys are familiar with the Bachelor Nation history, what they love to do is tease out the engagement scene at the very end, the final rose scene. And for this season, when they teased it out, they basically alluded that Jen doesn't pick anybody and that she may choose herself in the end. And we've seen this happen on other shows like Love is Blind and other shows like Married at First Sight, where it requires you to get married in the end of the show, basically. And a lot of people get to the end of the show and they're like, okay, I am not getting married. Like, this is wackadoo. But we don't really know for sure what happens with Jen. And I'm watching every week, just seeing this develop. They're in Australia. And this recent episode, they decide to do a magic mic, or basically, no, they're in Australia. So it's Thunder Down Under. So they have guys from Thunder Down Under come and teach the guys how to do a striptease or a strip performance, and have them do it for Jen, and have a couple other girls that were on Australia's versions of Bachelorette and have them come and judge. And it is very comical. It is a very good scene. And it definitely revealed a lot about these guys. And like, it made some front runners out of people, and it canceled some people for me. Like, I was like, immediately, get them off of my screen. So I'm particularly talking about Sam. The scene where everybody does their strip teases. And so Sam's sitting and talking with her, and she's like talking about how she gets her flustered, and we all know like they love to make out. They have very high tension and physical chemistry together. They're always sucking each other's faces. And in this scene for him to come out and do this strip tease and like rip his shirt off, like she was gagged. She was loving it. She was hot and bothered. And it's really funny. Like she has all this physical chemistry with him, but then when he starts talking, like it's very clear that she's like, okay, but wait, like there's something like not right with this guy. He just keeps repeating like, he's kind of a movie quotes guy. He's kind of a guy that just has like taglines that he says all the time. Like he doesn't really say anything of like real substance. Doesn't seem like he's listening and responding to what you're saying. And he just wants to like make out. So I think she's starting to see this in him, but he is really good at the strip tease. And then when he's in the back talking to her, he decides to straddle her, and she's a very physically uncomfortable. She's like, whoa, 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 why is this guy like on this big guy's like on top of me? Like I want him off of me. And then he kind of is like, ooh, almost being like, do you like that? And she's like, wait, I don't like this. And then he's like, okay, wait, you do like this? And then it's like, and he's like doing it more. And it's just like, everyone's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. What is going on here? This is like a non-consensual lap dance that's happening. It was just a very weird scene. And it's funny because I feel like Sam at any minute could have possibly been someone who went to the final four, went to hometowns, went into the final two or something. I mean, who knows? But I think now like he's gone. He's got to be gone. Right? So that whole scene was wild. I think as of right now, I have to think about who. I'm still loving Devin. I still think her and Devin have a genuine connection. Again, he's the Pete Davidson lookalike. I think that Marcus, she said that, okay, Marcus got a little like spicy during the strip tease. And she was like, whoa, okay, this is the guy that she did the skydiving with that was the army vet. So I thought he was a little too like American and normal for her. Not that American is normal, but you guys know what I mean. Just like that vanilla. But no, he really turned it up during the striptease. So she's feeling him again. He's again back to being a front runner. She's been talking to Spencer a lot and Devin. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I'm not sure who she's going to pick. But again, I have to go back to that shot of her in the beginning of her almost like picking up the final rose and then like sitting it back down. It's like, is she going to give it to somebody? We don't know. So yeah, speaking of finales of love shows, my number 4 most talked about moment of the week is the Love Island finale. So I'm so sad this season is over. Everybody has gone from Housewives over to Peacock to watch this show and really support our girl Ariana. She has been the true breakout host of this show, and she's made it what it has been. Gotta hopefully win some type of awards or something. Like I need to see her on a red carpet. I love Ariana so much. Again, I just have been really trying to look to her as such an inspiration this summer for just tuning out the haters, going for your dreams, and really being able to focus on yourself and making sure that you are living your best life. So I love her so much. The finale was great. I'm so happy that Serena and Cordell won. They were my personal favorite couple. A lot of people I know are loving Leah, but I don't think Miguel was a good choice. He, to me, I don't know. He's great, but he gives me almost like Harry Jowsey vibes. I love Rob, of course. Like who doesn't love Rob? Rob and his overalls. I know we're going to continue to see him on other future shows. I'm excited and we'll see what happens. I mean, I just am sad to see Ariana and all of her amazing looks go. I am curious to know now that Ariana is done with Love Island, is she going to come back and start to film VPR, or now she's going back to Broadway? I know that will be, it's usually like a 6 or an 8 week run. I should look into that. But I already saw, as you guys know, Ariana previously on Broadway back in like March. It was amazing. And I'm excited for her to come back and do it again because she has so many fans and supporters. And when she comes back into that environment again, that raw energy of being in that theater and having everybody cheering for her. Again, like if you guys have ever been to a Broadway show, it's so cool afterwards. You can stand outside and they have like the little velvet ropes. And she comes out and she signs and takes pictures and stuff after the show. So you can always meet her and take a picture with her. She's always so gracious. Sometimes Dan is there. And I don't know if you guys have ever heard this too, that security will come out before and they'll be like, no talking about Sandoval. Like no screaming Sandoval, no asking questions about Sandoval. Like this is a Sandoval free zone. So I'm sad that Love Island is over, but I'm happy Ariana's coming back to the US so we can see what's going on in her life. And I hope that they get these VPR cameras up soon because I'm a little weary of what the future is going to be. The Valley is filming and that's exciting. So we'll see. My future thoughts about VPR currently, I know Lala is about to give birth. Ariana is going to be on Broadway. Katie's in the sandwich shop. And she's doing her podcast with Dana, which I kind of enjoyed some clips lately. Tom, I'm not sure if they're like on good terms or not right now. I've heard some rumblings, but I'm sure they always work their stuff out. If Jax is single, will he film for VPR and the Valley? Maybe, potentially. What else has been going on over in VPR land? I don't know who else might cross over. James is out on tour killing it. So he's probably okay with having a break from filming so that he can focus on touring. But I'm not sure what's going to happen with him and the future of him and Allie. We will see what's going to happen, you guys. I would love to see Lala dating. I don't know. I know she's going to have a baby, but I'd love to see Katie dating more. Some of these girlies, maybe bring Dana back, see them. I've got to see some people like up in the mix there. But we'll see what's going to be happening. That was my number 4 most talked about moment of the week. And I hope Ariana just continues to slay. Number 3 most talked about moment of the week is we've got to go over and talk about, again, my girl Gypsy. She stays top of mind for me. She's always my number 1 most thought about moment of the week. But my number 1 most talked about moment of the week is in this most recent episode, Gypsy reveals that she is indeed pregnant. She shows us the pregnancy test. She shows us revealing to Ken that she's pregnant. And Ken is happy. She said that Ken was in tears or was like brought to tears. He seems very happy and excited, but the rumors continue, you guys. There are lots of rumors still that this man is gay and that he has a ex-gay lover that he's been with for a long time. And this man doesn't want fame and doesn't want to reveal who he is, but he just wants people to know that like Ken basically left him at the drop of a dime to go be back with Gypsy because Gypsy's on TV now and they think that this guy is just chasing clout and using Gypsy for this. And he also, I mean, again, you guys have to remember that these people really truly live out in the middle of nowhere in Louisiana, and I don't want to hate. I'm from the middle of nowhere, Michigan. It's kind of the same thing. But the middle of nowhere, Louisiana, like there's just not that much opportunity there. I think Gypsy truly thought she was going to come out and be an NYC girly, an LA girly, living in the likes of Kim Kardashian in the hills of Calabasas. And it hit her like a ton of bricks that she was living with Ryan and Pixie. And then now she's pregnant with Ken. And it's not, I don't think, going that great either. I smell just drama in the air because it never ends with this girl. But my main concern right now is that Ken is kicked off of TikTok because he likes to go live. And that's how I think him and Gypsy make a lot of money and a lot of attention without leaving their house. They're giving interviews and their couch, which is, again, very me coded, me podcasting from my couch. They're kind of just doing press from their couch. And Gypsy is pregnant. And I say this because, I mean, I don't know if we've really seen a bump yet or anything. I mean, there's no way she could be faking this. There's just no way she could be faking this and that her and Ken are doing this to make money. I would like to continue to see things with this pregnancy. And the weird thing about this show is I think they're filming it like in real time and pumping out these episodes because in this most recent episode, they're talking about her confirming her pregnancy and she just did that online. So did she just wait to do the pregnancy announcement to align with the TV show? Or when are all of these things happening? What's going on in real time? How many weeks is she? What's Ken doing right now? We know what Ryan is doing because he's a good boy and he's a good Southern boy. And he is still on TikTok and doing lives and giving me like all of the content in life that I need. So yeah, Gypsy's pregnant. Number 3 most talked about moment of the week. And we're going to have to continue to see this develop. My number 2 most talked about moment of the week is going to be over in the Real Housewives of New Jersey. So we are quickly approaching the season finale. And again, we know that they filmed some kind of a weird ass reunion where they're at Rails in 2 separate rooms watching the end of the show and I guess providing some kind of commentary or interviews or something on this. Andy is not present for this Rails reunion finale. He is not part of this. So I'm interested to see like what exactly it is and what the heck is going on at Rails. But we're going to see where this is all going to unfold slowly and I'm trying to be patient. But Tree recently released a statement, an Instagram grid post that is orange and yellow with white text that says, a lot of people have read this online. You can find the full statement, but it's something along the likes of I am calling for a ceasefire. Like, we need the toxicity and the hate between the bloggers, between the cast, between everybody who is contributing to this negativity around this show to stop. Because I think there's got to be a lot of negotiations going on right now. There's got to be a lot of contract negotiations, conversations amongst friends and cast members about what is the future of this show. Like, what are we going to do? We've seen Dolores try to get everybody back on track. We've seen a lot of people try. Rachel Fuda hosted this PJ party with everybody except for Teresa, which honestly, it was like, okay, a test shot to see would the show work without her. And I'm getting vibes that Bravo is just still not ready to release Teresa. They're just not ready to do it. I think they went to her and they were like, if you don't condone all this negativity and you don't get the tree huggers to stand down, we're not going to be able to renew your contract. And so Teresa, hopefully as a Hail Mary, just wrote this up. You can tell she didn't write it. Probably her lawyer, Jim, helped her, or Louie, or Gia, or somebody. And by the way, I just think that Gia isn't able to pass the LSATs. Is that what I've heard? Or she's tried and failed? No shade. It's not like I've tried to pass that, but I think that's why she's leaning on Influencer Life and shooting this Made in Manhattan show for Bravo. Maybe she's unable to get into law school instead of choosing influencing over law school. See, it's all about the truth. But Tree releasing this thing about the future of the Real Houses of New Jersey, everybody needed to stand down, the toxicity being drained out of the swamp. I'm very hopeful, and we'll see what could happen. But we know that she didn't write it. We know that somebody helped her. And I hope that she's really heeding the words that she is declaring to everybody, and that she also stands down and stops all this business with the bloggers, because it seems like they're still releasing things. Like, a lot of people are talking about this most recent thing that was released about John Fuda's past, where when he was John Deatria still, which I already knew that he changed his name to John Fuda, and that he had this much legal history where he needed to change his name. Like, hello. That doesn't just happen. I've seen enough episodes of Mob Wives to know that that doesn't just happen in everyday life. So I knew that he had a shady past already. And I'm not the biggest fan of him anyway. I do like Rachel, but I don't really like John. And so for John to have this shady past, and for us to all still, we're here, we're supporting the show. But Teresa really, again, below the belt, you guys have heard me say so many times, like, I think she started all this stuff with Bo Dietl and getting all of the private investigators. And that's what really tipped the scale of where the show went toxic and went off screen and just began to really be really hard to watch. So I am not sure what's going to happen, but it seems like Bravo's still negotiating with her and trying to get her to clean up her act a little bit and clean up the tree stumps, because we've got to get everybody back to a place of watching this show from a place of lols, because that's really what it is, and it shouldn't be so serious. It's always been very serious, though. Again, watching that Prime Vault channel, you just see, like, it's been serious since day one. And Tree's been like this. The season 2 reunion, oh my gosh. Okay, and so that brings me to my number one most talked about moment of the week. And this one might surprise you, because I was going online and I'm like, what are people talking about? What is really the number one most talked about moment of the week? Like, you guys, I do my research, I do my due diligence, I'm scouring the internet, and I really wanted to see, like, what is going on? What is the 411? And it's the Olympics. Everybody is talking about the Olympics. People can't get enough. The opening ceremony was on Friday. Snoop was crip walking with the torch. We had LeBron on the boat coming in, which was so funny how life imitates art. And that painting of George Washington crossing the Delaware, it really was LeBron with the USA flag coming in on the CN River. Oh my gosh. It was actually a moment. That was one of the most talked about moments of the week for sure. I love the Olympics because it is, again, these true athletes, these true, like, Greek gods. Remember, the Olympics really come from Greece, and, like, these meetings of these people coming together and being like, yo, I can throw a ball farther than you. And they're like, nah, I think I can throw it farther. I can throw this disc farther. I can jump higher. No, I can jump further. Like, it is the ultimate ego challenge from the beginning of time. And I mean, I support it. Like, it's really no shade. Like, I'm all about a good competition. So some of the things I saw, the women's shot put, some of the people that I saw in there are phenomenal. Some of the long jump that I saw. So if you go to, it's so funny how you like find out things, but one thing I found out a lot about some of these Olympic candidates were from the Skims ad. Kim Kardashian is providing all of the USA with Skims, and I'm obsessed with her campaign. And she's been known to do this for a lot of different athletes and previous Olympic teams. So she's killing it with Skims. I personally only have one piece of Skims stuff. I have like a shapewear thing that I got for my wedding. That I actually didn't even end up wearing. I can't really speak to Skims so much, but I would love to get some more stuff. Why not? Hit me up, Kim. Send me some Skims. So yeah, that was my number one most talked about moment of the week is the Olympics. Oh yeah, so Flava Flav, if you guys haven't seen, he is personally sponsoring the women's polo team because he saw that a lot of these women were working 2-3 jobs to be able to train and get themselves to the Olympics. And he was so inspired that he stepped in and decided to start donating himself and sponsoring to these women and their team. And he ran into the FLOTUS, the First Lady of the United States, the other day, who is, as you guys know, Dr. Jill Biden. And I mean, are you guys having a brat summer? Like, I am so happy to do this transition from Biden to brat. Kamala is everywhere. She's so everywhere. She's so Kamala. I am definitely voting green and I'm voting for Kamala this season. Sorry, you guys. I know this isn't a politics space, but I'm speaking my truth. And just so you guys know that that's where I land because I love women and I love people and I love life. And that's why I vote for Brat. And oh yeah, so I wanted to do like a funny little thing because even though no one talked about the Kardashians this season and every season's a flop, they just got renewed for 2 more seasons. So I'm going to give them my gold medal of reality TV for this year so far. And you guys might be surprised by that. Like, why are you giving the Kardashians a gold medal? Like, they don't provide shit. But I'm going to run through a couple of things that we got from them this season. And you tell me if you think that this is reality TV worthy and if you think that you would give them a gold medal for this. So Chloe, she went from being agoraphobic basically to being able to travel out of that. She's talking about dating with Malika. She's talking about getting back out into the world. And she's trying to do her best, I think, to really break out of this trauma cycle that she's been in between Lamar and then Tristan. She's ready, I think, to find herself again. And I think that that is an interesting journey. Maybe she's not doing flashy things, but she definitely gave us a dynamic side to her this season that showed how much she loves being a mom, which we already know. One thing in particular, again, is how much she loves being almost like a surrogate mother to Dream, who is Rob and Black China's daughter. So we see Dream around a lot. She's in this last episode, the season finale at the final family dinner. Dream is there. It's really great to see that she's being so taken care of. And she's such a beautiful little girl. I mean, of course, all of the Kardashian girls are, which again, one thing that I have noticed on some buzz about online is that, have you ever noticed that the Kardashian girls, like North, True, Shy, Stormy, like we know them all. I can see their faces. I know their little personality quirks. I know things that they like. I know what their birthday themes are. But when it comes to the boys, Saint, Psalm, Rain, Mason, Rob, even, you can throw them in there. They're all just like more elusive about the boys. Like, we just don't know as much. And I feel like they're more protective over them. And that's just a very interesting thing that I've noticed about, again, all of this stuff about the Kardashians and how they protect the men in their life. It's just really weird that it's happening with the girls also, with the daughters. So speaking of the babies and keeping them private, we also this season, Court physically give birth. We see her go to the hospital. We see that Chris ends up being there for the birth also, which wasn't the original plan, but she weaseled her way into that emergency room with them or into the delivery room with them. And so Court gives birth to baby Rocky with Travis. And then they travel the world. Baby Rocky goes to Australia for Travis's Blink-182 tour. Baby Rocky comes back to the US and we still haven't seen a picture of him. So I don't think we know what this baby looks like. I'm sure it's gorgeous, but I mean, we saw Mason's face from the second he was pulled out into this world. So it's just really crazy. Court, I think she gave us a lot though through her pregnancy, and she continued to work. And it's funny for a girl who really always says like, I just want to be a mom. She continues to do her Lemmy. She continued to do some other offside projects, photo shoots and things throughout her pregnancy. I'm Team Court always, and Team Kravis. So I think they gave us a lot. They kept me fed this season. And we know Kim. We know Kimmy was working. We know Kim was off her ass and working all season. She was giving us prison reform. She was giving us potential running for president one day. Like, those are the vibes I'm getting from Kim these days. Her wanting to work with Gypsy to reach more about prison reform. Like, when she went to the prison to do her most recent visit with Chloe in the season finale, there was somebody holding a sign that said Kim for president. Like, I think that is happening. It's coming. I talk about this like every 8 weeks. I bring this up. Kim is going to run for president one day. So just be prepared. I'm prepared. And as always, another tradition of the Kardashians is Kylie and Kendall gave us absolutely nothing this season. Kendall walked in a fashion show, missed the Aspen trip, and that was pretty much the only time she was going to be filming with everybody. And so how can we give them the gold medal still? Because I think that their commitment to flopping and their commitment to doing the absolute least is kind of inspiring because they're still rich AF. I mean, Kendall's been with Bad Bunny this entire season. I mean, there was not one speak of him one time, not even one time ever of him existing. So that's kind of disappointing. And then Kylie never really talks about her son. And with Travis, we know that we've had previous appearances and pop-ups of Travis Scott on the show before, but he hasn't been around in a while, and I don't think they claim to be together, but these are the children, and I don't know, where are all the men? I don't know. They tried to focus more on the women this season, but we know the men are the drama, so we need that. But yeah, okay, so that was my whole episode this week, you guys. That was a really good one. We talked about a lot this week. Again, a reminder to go watch the Prime Vault channel. Plathville, Dubai, $1 Million Listing LA. Oh, I didn't talk about the Real Houses of Orange County this week either. So to me, they had a little bit of a fall off from this first episode, the premiere. I mean, the premiere was a high. We were so drowning. We needed housewives from the drought. I was so happy to have them back. One of my favorite scenes and one of my favorite house husbands is Shane Simpson. And they had the funniest scene. He was a second place for my LOL of the week where they show him how he's addicted to having big gulps. And they just show him all these different shots of him walking around, doing things, working, hanging out, watching TV, driving with a big gulp. I loved it. I made a little reel of it on my Instagram. So again, please go follow me, Bella Talks TV on Instagram. And you can follow me on YouTube, Bella Talks TV. Please watch these full episodes. Again, look at little Candy. Let's just do one little shot. My sleeping baby angel here with her brat clip. Okay, so yeah, that was the end of my episode, you guys. So make sure you're following me, subscribe me, like, comment, all the things. I have some exciting things coming up in the next couple of weeks, so I can't wait to share them with you. I'm going to the Diamonds and Rose Brunch by Bravo TV Experiences next Saturday, so I'll definitely be talking about that on the pod. And there aren't, I think, supposed to be really any Bravo celebrities popping up, but I'm convinced that it might be Luann, Dorinda, a New York housewife coming through. I'll let you guys know if I meet anybody. And yeah, that was my episode this week. So I love you all. Ciao, Bella.